Mitakaye oyesin, all my relations. Which means I just said, all my relations. All my relations. I have recently been reminded of a pearl of wisdom from Chris Rock. Chris said, you never send yourself on a first date. You send your representative. Because you don't want the first date to see your real self. And if it goes well and it continues, somewhere down the line you try to make that switch, the big switch, where you can switch yourself for your representative. Bitikai Oyesin, all my relations. Well, he may not have said that last part. The point he was trying to make is that when we date, we want to impress. And we realize that there might be aspects of our personality that we do not wish to be known. But as the relationship progresses, and there's a comfort level with the parties involved in the dating, then eventually you feel more comfortable in showing yourself. Sometimes, often, I would say most times, that doesn't go very well because you weren't honest from the start. And what I'm telling you is it's not just about dating relationships, it's about relationships, period. I have been saying for a while now that the movement, the progressive movement, the mob movement, the BLM movement, call it whatever you want, is really being controlled by comparatively few. And the rest of us are going along on the bandwagon. So if we do read about this, we read about this every day. People ask me, how can you generalize? You read about it every day on sites like CNN and MSNBC and PBS, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I'm not even talking about the right-wing news sites. I'm talking about the left wing. You read about it every day. You read about the violence. You read about the riots. So when somebody attacks somebody physically, and when somebody burns property and destroys property and pulls down statues, I guess you're not going to hurl the statue, you're going to pull it down, right? Or somebody attacks somebody else's reputation on Twitter, and the next thing you know, that reputation is ruined, their job is gone, their career is gone. So folks on the left will say to me and other critics of this behavior, you're generalizing. And we're not generalizing. This is happening day by day. And the folks on the left will say, well, this isn't happening. Or the folks on the left will not say anything to criticize those who are perpetuating violence. Why not? Because they want to give what they are calling their best impression. They are sending their representative so that they are virtue signaling, so that they look like they support all the aims of the more radical left. Now, if some of the terms I use offend you, forgive me. I'm not trying to offend. I'm trying to find terms that actually work, that you know what I'm talking about. If you are offended, with all due respect to you, that's your interpretation, and you're choosing to be offended. And what I'm telling you is that you could choose to actually be a little bit more honest. Instead of sending your representative, send yourself. Because you're a person that stands against violence. You're a person that stands against defaming someone. You're a person that stands against the whole idea of being against the idea of dialogue. You are a person that stands against the idea of the person running for president, campaigning for president, is not going to be the president. It's going to be a figurehead. And any other time, and by any other time I mean pre-late May, you would actively, vocally be against that. But you're sending your representative. And unfortunately, for many of us, as this mass hysteria, again, a very precise term, unfortunately, as this mass hysteria continues, it'll be easier, more convenient to bury your true self and let that representative out, to let that representative become you. You are better than this. We, as a nation, are better than this. Be honest with yourself, folks. Be honest with each other. Be the best versions of yourself, which actually means be yourselves. And then we will achieve the society that we've always wanted. Peace. 4 fingers.